Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. Today Bungie held their third and final livestream reveal for Age of Triumph, and today's topics included ornaments and how Bungie is planning on bringing back elemental primaries for year 3. And their solution is absolutely ingenious. How does an exotic Fatebringer sound to you? And not only that, but perhaps my favorite piece of news from the reveal stream is that King's Fall and Wrath of the Machine primary weapons will now feature new versions of those weapons with elemental damage. There's a lot to unpack from this final reveal stream, so let's jump in. Right off the bat, let's talk elemental primaries. In year 1, Vault of Glass and Crota's End legendary primaries featured elements. Starting with King's Fall, they stopped featuring elemental primaries so that they weren't the dominant choice for legendary primary weapons. So they naturally faced a challenge when deciding to bring back Vault of Glass and Crota's End weapons into current light. And their ingenious solution to this is to now have 2 versions of raid primaries, one legendary that will remain kinetic and one exotic that will feature the former element. For example, you can earn a 400 light legendary Fatebringer with kinetic damage, and also earn a Fatebringer Adept that will be exotic and feature the arc damage we know and love. This will be the case not only for Vault of Glass and Crota's End weapons, but retroactively, King's Fall and Wrath of the Machine will also feature exotic Adept versions for their primaries, complete with new elemental damage. We don't know which elements are going to which weapons yet, but I can't wait to find out. So how do you get these new exotic Adept weapons? Well, it turns out that will be the main purpose of the new raid challenge modes that will be active when each raid is in the weekly featured rotation. You will have a chance at earning an exotic Adept raid primary for every challenge you complete. So it sounds like you'll have 2 chances per week per character for every raid except for King's Fall, which of course will feature 3 chances per character per week since it's the only raid with 3 challenge mode encounters. They haven't necessarily confirmed whether or not it's in every challenge encounter, but since the drop is not guaranteed for every challenge you complete, I hope it's not just for like the final boss encounter or something like that. Either way, I think this solution is perfect and I couldn't have thought of something better myself. I'm very excited to get my hands on these new exotics. Aside from the weapons, we got a nice look at all 4 sets of raid armor with their brand new ornaments. Vault of Glass features glowing blue designs as well as replacing some of your limbs with mechanical parts. Pretty wild. Also, Crota's End is probably one of my favorite new ornament sets, and it features glowing green spikes that actually react to you taking damage. I'm probably the most impressed with this set, as it takes the Crota's End armor, which honestly was never really my favorite set in the first place, and makes it look incredible. Next, we saw the King's Fall gear ornaments, complete with glowing blue light that's crackling onto the surface, and the second ornament set for Wrath of the Machine, which the designers called out as the most effects they've ever put into an ornament set, and it definitely shows. The set features parts peeling and floating off, and digital glowing light effects across the entire surface. I think this is a vast improvement to the relatively lackluster ornament set we got with the original Wrath of the Machine set. They also showed off the new Age of Triumph set available through the Age of Triumph mystery bags, and they have a very year 1 vibe which I definitely appreciate, and they will be the only new set of chroma gear so you can customize the color of the glowing parts. I know I've got mountains of chroma stacked up, so I'm looking forward to this set and experimenting with the different colors. Lastly, for ornaments, they showed us the new ornaments for Dragon's Breath, No Land Beyond, Lord of Wolves, Suros Regime, which actually has 2, Vex Mythoclast, Necrochasm, and Touch of Malice, all complete with brand new ornaments. Now, aside from all that, they also went over a lot of little changes and additions. I'll go over them in much more detail as we get closer to the official update, which is officially designated as Destiny Update 2.6 and is slated to release March 28th at 10 AM Pacific. But for the sake of keeping you up to date, let's quickly recap everything else. The challenge mode will now feature raid ornaments that can be used in any raid armor set. Black Hammer will not be making a return since Black Spindle is now a thing, which I guess will leave a weird hole in the special lineup for Crota's End weapons. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but it is what it is. Next up, Necrochasm's exotic perk will now ignite enemies on every kill, not just precision kills. On the topic of auto rifles, they are increasing their range falloff, making them more effective on longer ranges, which is an awesome thing for raiding especially. and they have in turn reduced the range of hand cannons by a few meters yet again, but they promise it shouldn't be too noticeable and it was just to bring it back in line. Next we have No Land Beyond, which will now have the same flinch as other sniper rifles, making them less effective as a primary choice. Sidearms will no longer stack ammo on every respawn, and you will now respawn with just one magazine. Although now using special ammo crates will automatically load in the ammo into your magazine, just like it does with heavies, so that's a nice little trade-off. It'll definitely make racing for the ammo crate that much more interesting. Now I'm very happy about all of these changes, and we'll go over them in much more detail when the patch officially drops on Tuesday. I'm much more excited for this update than I thought I would be, and of course in turn that means there will be tons of Age of Triumph coverage right here on this channel, including reviews, weapon showcases, and challenge guides for all of the new raid challenges. So this is the perfect time to subscribe to me if you haven't already. Also remember, the content on this channel will only increase in frequency as we get closer to the release of Destiny's first full sequel. The news should start flowing in over the next couple months, so I'm sure I'll have plenty to cover and discuss with you over the summer. Anyways, let me know your thoughts of the Bungie reveal in the comments below. I love some of the discussions that we have in the comments. In fact, I'm going to start featuring my favorite comments, or the comments that I find most interesting, at the end of each video, like this one from Joey Stefan, which says, "I feel like they skipped something and they brought the old raids straight to 390, and they should have brought the old raids to 370, and then to 390 after that, just like they do with Wrath of the Machine, to help players get up to 400 light that aren't there already." And Joey, I definitely agree with this. It would be nice for the old raids to help those get to 400 light, but I honestly think there are enough other activities to help those get to 400 that aren't there already. And maybe they didn't want to overwhelm us with too many options, plus they probably would have had to split up the loot table again, which I would not have been too big a fan of. I'm looking forward to all of the Vault of Glass loot finally being in the same pool, so I'm not forced to play a lower difficulty to get all the weapons. But you do bring up a great point, and I'll be sure to make an updated guide after 2.6 drops to help those get from 385 to 400 using all of the new weekly rituals. And with that, drop a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Destiny content. And I will see you all next time. After the update, the Crucible director will look like this. 4 normal playlists, a 5th that will remain as Elimination and Trials of Osiris, and a 6th playlist that will now be the only featured playlist, down from the 2 that it is now.